Welcome to Omnia Faeces. My name is Daniel, and this is Quest for Glory. So you want to be a hero, which is the underlining title. This is a Sierra game. It's a classic, point-and-click adventure game, but it's slightly different in the sense that it is also a role-playing game, which they didn't do a lot of at the time. So I think we're going to jump straight ahead into the game. There's no point in watching the introduction because it won't actually teach us anything about the backstory. It will just tell us the names of those who made the game. So let's start a new hero. And as you can see, we've got 3 characters to choose from. We can create a fighter, a magic user, a thief. It doesn't really matter because we're going to do a hybrid character anyway. So we're just going to go with the fighter because then we will start with the best available weapons, I think. And what you can see here is obviously that we can name our character up here. But then we've got a few main abilities here and other abilities on the right hand side. And I think these abilities also affect these ones over here in some way. And down here we got our points available pool. We've got 50 available points to spend on these abilities. And if you read the documentation of the game, they do recommend, I think they say something like, put 15 points in strength and something like that. And if I press the right arrow like that, strength goes up to 30 and 5 points have been deducted from here. But I like to do it like this. You see, I got 4 abilities here that are at 0, which means that we won't be able to use these abilities at all during the game. I could, of course, unlock them, so to speak, by pressing the right arrow. I can put 5 points in stealth, for an example. But then, if you look here, you can see that instead of just 5 points being deducted from the points available pool, we've lost 15, which means that it actually costs an additional 10 points to, if you like, unlock the ability. So this, of course, means that if I put 5 points in pick locks and 5 points in climbing, we only got 5 points still remaining. So we can't have anything at magic. I can't add anything because, like I said, it costs an additional 10 points. This becomes a problem, though, because I want all the abilities. So there is a way around this. I don't know if this was actually intended. I don't think you were supposed to be able to do this. I think this is some sort of a, I wouldn't call it a glitch, but some fault in the programming. Because what you can do is if I go to dodge, for instance, and if I just press the plus sign, I can add 1 point instead of 5. And then minus, of course, deducts 1 point, which means I can fine-tune some of these abilities. I don't have to put 5 points in them. I can just put 1. So what I can do is, I can go to stealth, I can add 5, add just 1 other point, and then deduct 5. So I got 1 point in stealth. And if you look over here, you can see that I've only lost 11 points instead of 15. So I can do the same at pick locks. I add 5, add another 1, and deduct 5. And I do the same with climbing. And now I got 17 points left down here, which means that I can put 5 points in magic. And I still have 2 points left here. And I'm just going to put these 2 points at weapons use because we will be fighting a lot. So this is our character. We got 18 health points, we got 15 stamina points, and we got 6 magic points. But we also need to name him, of course. And this game takes place in a town called Spielburg. This is a sort of a it's inspired by medieval Germany, so there will be a lot of German-sounding names. So I thought we were just going to name him. This character does have a name, though. I mean, lore-wise, he's got a name. Just like the hero in Space Quest is called Roger Wilco, but in the first 2 games, you get to name him. And in Quest for Glory, I think that the hero's name is Devon Aidendale. But I don't quite like that name. I think we're just going to call him Wilhelm, because that sounds more German. So let's start the game. This seems like a quiet little town. On the porch ahead of you are two people. The standing one is large, rather ugly, and playing with a yo-yo. The seated person smoking a pipe looks like he might be the sheriff. It says sheriff right above the door, so that's not hard to figure out. The man with the pipe greets you. Welcome to our town. You are lucky to have made it down from the mountains before the snow blocked the pass again. It's gotten pretty dangerous outside of town, I understand. Many monsters have been trapped around here with the late snow. Between them and the brigands, we certainly could use a hero around here. I am Sheriff Schultz Meisterson. This is Otto von Goon, my assistant. What do you call yourself? And this is where we could change the name, if we like, but there's no reason to do that. So we're just going to go with Wilhelm. Good luck in your quest, Wilhelm. This game is all about asking questions. But before that, I would just like to show you. If I press Control S, it shows us our character sheet. We already got one puzzle point. We actually got 1 point here, just for starting the game, which is nice. Then we've got, I think it's Control I, yeah, that's our inventory. We've got 5 food rations, 1 broadsword, 1 leather armor, and 1 shield. We also got 4 gold coins and 10 silver coins. And I'm assuming that this means pounds, that we can carry 41 pounds. No, we can carry 52 pounds, but we are carrying 41, so we're good. And down here, the game will list the spells that we know, but we don't currently know any spells. So that one is empty. And then, of course, Control T, which is could be very important, tells us the time of the day. And then we got Control A, which brings this text box up, which is ask about. Because this game is all about asking questions. The more questions you ask, the more you learn about the story and the more points you can get. So I could ask Schultz, I could ask about the town, for instance. Just walk around and find out for yourself. Alright, well that wasn't very helpful. But he talked about monsters and talked about brigands, so we can ask him about that. Ask about monsters. The monsters come down from the mountains every winter, but they're usually gone by now. The Baron just doesn't have enough men to handle them. Wolfgang is the one to talk about monsters. He's had a lot of experience with them. Alright, so now we learned about 2 things else. I'm sorry. We learned about the Baron. Let's ask about him. Baron Stefan keeps mostly to himself at his castle north of here. We haven't seen him here in town for years. Alright. So let's ask about Wolfgang. What's his name? Wolfgang down at the Guild Hall is the one to talk to about monsters. He had a lot of experience with them. That's basically what you said before. Let's ask about brigands. There's a whole band of brigands hiding out somewhere in the mountains around us. They robbed a merchant last week. Got a fair amount of treasure, I hear. Right, let's ask about this merchant then. The one who was robbed, he's staying at the inn, I believe. Which would mean this. You got a Hero's Tale Inn over here. I think you can right-click on things, which is basically look at. But I just tend to go for this and just, look at Goon, for instance. There's more than a hint of ogre about this strange and bulky character. He seems cheerful, though. Let's ask about... his name was Otto, wasn't it? Otto is a big help to me, the sheriff tells you. He's very smart for a goon. His prisoners only suffer a few broken bones when he grabs them. Oh, well, that's good. It took a bit of doing to teach him to bring prisoners back alive, but he hardly ever forgets now. Yeah, that's good. Hardly ever. Still happens, though. Alright, so basically what we learn here is that there are monsters about, which has been trapped by the late snow. There is a Baron, which they haven't seen for quite some time. And there was a merchant robbed by the brigands, so they got a problem with those. And we got to talk to this guy Wolfgang. Let's ask about the Guild Hall, which is spelled like that. The Guild Hall is at the southwest corner of town. That would be left on the screen, I think. If you're looking for work, that's a good place to go. Which I suppose we have to go there. Because we want work, we want to make money. Maybe we should go and talk to the merchant at the inn. Yeah, maybe we should do that first, since we're already here. Welcome, welcome, traveller, to the Hero's Tale Inn. I am Shamin at your service. May you find what you seek here. Well, thank you. That's very cheerful of you. Maybe I should walk up to him before I ask any questions. Otherwise I have to stand shouting all across the room. Let's ask about the inn. See if he's got something to tell us about that. I have run this inn for 3 years now with Shima. We had thought to return to Shapeir, my homeland, with Abdullah Du, but alas, fate has decreed otherwise. Okay, ask about... That's not the button I was supposed to press. There is, not the key, rather. Ask about Shima. Shima is my mate and the light of my life. If you sit down, she will be happy to serve you. No, I'm not hungry at the moment, so that won't be necessary. Shapeir, I think the homeland was. What can you tell us about that? Will you far to the south in the desert land? Someday we might yet return there. Okay. Ask about Abdullah. My friend Abdullah is recovering from his robbery last week. Ah! Maybe he's the merchant then. He should be here around supper time. Right, so he's not here now. Ask about robbery. Alas, the brigands stole all of Abdullah's wealth and my own when they robbed his caravan. Now I'm forced to stay in this wet, cold land. Ask about the wealth. I hope to return to my homeland with the profits Abdullah, Shima and I would make from the caravan. Now I fear we will remain here unless someone defeats the brigands and return our stolen treasures. I am assuming that means us. Let's ask about monsters. Do you know anything about that? The world is filled with many kinds of creatures, both good and bad. Right, thank you. How about the brigands? I know little about them except that they must be wealthy now. Yeah, sure, they robbed the merchant. Let's ask about the Baron, because he seemed to be a kind of interesting kind of guy. This humble innkeeper is ignorant of about which you ask. Alright, so basically what we learned here is that the merchant will be here at around supper time, so maybe we should return there to ask him more about the brigands and the robbery. Nothing more we can do in there now, I suppose. So let's just head over to the guild hall. Right, we got a magic shop right over here. This eye is gonna follow us around. It was in that the strangely decorated building is involved in the magic trade. Yeah, and we got this old woman over here, deeply asleep in her rocker. Anyway, let's just head over to... Oh, whoa! Let's just head over to the guild hall and see what we can learn. This adventurous guild reminds you of the one in your hometown. The traditional moose head and other stuffed monsters, saurus, troll, griffin, dragon, cheetah and the terrible antwerp adorn the walls. You see the registration book on the desk and the bulletin board full of job listings. The man seated by the fire must be the guildmaster. He is snoring. Yeah, that's nice. Alright, we got a whole bunch of animals over here. We won't learn that much from them, other than the fact that we'll learn what kind of animals they are and who basically killed them. Most of them have been killed by the Baron and this guy over here, which is Wolfgang Abenteuer. So, let's just head over to the desk. This is the moose. I think this is the Antwerp. This is the Griffin. This is the troll, the cheetah, dragon, and this would be the saurus then, right? A Purposaurus, yeah. See that? Slain by Hans Half-Witten. Yeah, of course. Hans Half-Witten, which I don't know who it is. But look at table. Can we do that? It's pretty normal. Yeah, sure. Look at book. The last entry was made several years ago. It says, Baronet Bernard von Spielburg killed a troll near the Flying Falls on this 23rd day of October. I'm assuming Bernard von Spielburg is Baron Stefan's son. But we have to find that one out. Sign book. You sign your book in Adventurers Log book with a flourish. And if we then read the book, the writing in this book looks very recent. It says, I, Wilhelm, have come to Spielberg to become a hero. Yeah, that's humble of us. So that's that. We could also walk over here. It says quests here, and we can can we right click on that one? Yeah, could. So let's find out what sort of jobs we can do, what we can do. It says reward here. Reward for the return of lost ring. Inquire at the healers. So the healer has lost a ring. Wanted brigand leader. Description: unknown appearance. Wears a cloak. Must provide proof of leader's identity. Reward of 60 gold coins and title of Hero of the Realm. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. This poster is rather dusty and faded. The picture is of a small child with braids. Reward of 50 gold coins for the safe return of Elsa von Spielburg. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. Elsa von Spielburg sounds like this could be the Baron's daughter. Notice, spell components needed. Cash or trade for potions. Inquire at the healers. So that's another reason to go to the healer. There's a reward. 30 gold coins for the capture or death of the brigand warlock. Description: short, ugly, and wears brightly colored robes. Has habit of laughing continually. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. And then the last one. This poster seems to have been here quite a while. It has a picture of a handsome but arrogant young man. Reward of 50 gold coins for information leading to the return of Baronet Bernard von Spielburg. Inquire at Spielburg Castle Gates. So we have to go to the Castle Gates to learn more about the Baronet and Elsa, the Baroness Elsa von Spielburg, and then we had the brigand warlock and the brigand leader. Let's see if we can talk to Wolfgang. And he's snoring, of course. Ah, I was so busy I didn't notice you come in. Welcome, welcome. It is so seldom that we have new adventurers here. Most people think this valley is cursed. All right, that seems to see. Let's ask about this curse. Yeah, with the Baron losing his son and daughter, all the monsters, Baba Yaga, and now the brigands, it has been one thing after another. Monsters, Baba Yaga, and the brigands. Alright, let's ask about this Baba Yaga, because that's a new one. She is the center of our problems, I think. Baba Yaga is a powerful ogress. Baron von Spielburg tried to force her to leave this valley, but she cursed him. Now the Baron has lost everything but his land, and I don't know how long he will keep that. With our valley, what our valley needs is a hero. Let's ask about the monsters. You can see some of the types of monsters that live around here if you look at our walls. So we ask about the dragon, for instance. One day years ago, a pair of dragons tried to take over a valley. We adventurers rode out to meet them. You can still see Stefan von Spielburg charging forward on his black horse. He slew the one whose head adorns the wall above our fireplace. The other one flew off. People say that they can sometimes see that other dragon flying high overhead, but it has never dared attack us again. Basically, you can learn more about the animals and who killed them by asking questions about them, I assume. Let's ask about the troll, just to see what it says then. It's been a while since Schultz and I killed the one on the wall. It's fortunate that a few trolls remain. They're deadly. I'm sure they are. Let's ask about this Hans fellow. Not much of an adventure, but he did kill one Saurus before he made the mistake of tangling with an ogre. So Hans Half-Witten seems to be dead then. Let's ask about the Baron. Baron von Spielberg was once a brave protector of our valley. We used to adventure together when we were younger. No brigand or monster would dare show his face here if the Baron had not angered Baba Yaga. Now it is said that he goes nowhere and sees no one. That's a shame. Let's ask about Elsa. Elsa was a beautiful 8-year-old child with blonde hair and sky-blue eyes. She was the Baron's pride and joy. 10 years ago she was carried off by something which came over the wall and flew off with her. The search for her lasted many years, but at least everyone gave up. Everyone, that is, except for the Baron's jester, Yorick. I want to learn more about him. Yorick was a fun little man, but brave. He swore he would spend his life searching for the Baron's Elsa. That's about the Baronet then. Bernard was his name, I think. He was a hero and worthy of the name Bernard von Spielburg. He rode off to hunt one morning 5 years ago, and his horse returned with large and deep claw marks. No sign of the Baronet's body was ever found. That's a bit of a shame. Let's ask about brigands. There's a reward for anyone who can stop the brigands by capturing or killing their leaders. The information is on the bulletin board. Yeah, but I want to know more about the brigand leader. I'm sorry, I don't know what's written on the poster. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Let's ask about the brigand warlock then. Alright. Could we learn more about the healer? Apparently not. It starts to ramble on. Alright, I think that's everything we would ever get out of this guy. Basically what we have to do is we have to find a healer, because we got 2 quests over there, and then we got 4 quests at the castle gate, so we have to head over there as well. But both of these locations are outside of town, so I think that will be for the next episode. And that's the timer that I set for this video anyway. So that's pretty good timing, I think. This was the first episode of Quest for Glory. Nothing really exciting happened, other than the fact that we learned what's going on in this town, in this area of the world. I hope you join me for the next episode as we try to find the healer, and we also are going to head over to the castle gates to learn more about the lost people and the monsters and the brigands, and hopefully we can do some fighting. That would be quite exciting, I think. So thank you for joining me for this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.